Hey, everybody. We're here. A couple minutes.
We're here.
All right. We're here. We've arrived. How's everybody doing? Hello, Gil, Cynthia, Bruce, Deborah, Donna. Hello, hello, hello.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Hey, real quick, Gillian texted a friend of hers, roommate. They actually found her passed out on the floor. She hit her head on and really did some damage when she hit on the edge of the sink. And Gillian has asked us if we could open with a prayer for this woman. If we can do that, well, if you don't mind, I would like to, to do that. Okay. Our most gracious and loving Heavenly Father, the Divine Mother. Raphael, please, we're asking the Creator to send Raphael and his leads around this woman, around the woman that's with her. They're both older, they're both having health problems, and this could be very, very devastating. And it sounds like they are having some bad problems. Raphael, angels, I'm drawing all the energy that I can from above, so below, and we are sending this to these two women. And I want you to immediately fly to their aid, wrap your wings around them, and let them know you are here and that our hearts go with them. As it is above, so below, so motivate. Okay. So yeah, that was a little crazy. So
yeah, that's terrible. That's no bueno.
Yeah, you found out things. They're roommates. She saw her while she was working today, but then was out working from home like Gillian does. They were together, and Gillian and her off and on all day long. So never said anything. And then all of a sudden, Gillian got a call, said that we don't know how, and that's the problem. We don't know how long when she hit her head, how long she's been on the floor. So she was conscious and alert for a bit, but we don't know what is going on. So,
yeah,
that's crazy.
That's a little scary, especially as we get around our ages, right? And above. A fall is so scary. I don't know if you remember, but you remember our MSN days, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Do you remember there was a guy that we palled around with, Butch? His call name was Sea Lover.
Yeah.
Well, same thing happened to him. Something happened at his house. He hit his head on the dresser or the end table or whatever. And his wife, who happened to be part of that group too, came home from work and found him. That's awful,
Yeah.
That's just a terrible situation to be in.
It really is. And, Bruce, thank you. Yes, sir. And everybody that wished me happy birthday yesterday, today, I appreciate it so much.
It was your birthday?
But this kind of hit home because it's, I turned 64 yesterday. 60 freaking 4. All right.
Oh, it's when I'm 6. Is it when I'm 65? Is it the Beatles song? Will you still need me?
No, I think it's when I'm 64, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think
Let's
so.
Find out.
Let's find out. So, crap, Brigitte and Rob, we'll talk about. Okay. So Cynthia just put when I'm 64. So, okay. And what did old John Lennon do when he was 64? I forgot. I remember the song now, but I don't remember the words to it.
He just says, "Will you still need me? Will you still something?"
Oh, that's it. When I'm 64. Yeah.
And I think that was Paul McCartney, not John Lennon, right? John Lennon said, "You say it's your birthday. My birthday too, yeah."
We were doing that all day yesterday. Yeah. Driving people nuts. So hey, and Cynthia, 65 in April, and that's when my grandson's supposed to be born. Woo-hoo! So yeah, this is good.
And you're gonna have an Aries or a Gemini.
Yeah, I know.
No, not Gemini. Taurus. Aries are Taurus.
This will be crazy. Okay. I'm 65 in May. Everybody's turning. So here we go. So be careful where you fall, how you fall, or whatnot. We are that crowd. So, good to see you, Elena. Glad you're here. Let's see what happens. And what's really cute, y'all, see my phone. Everybody blew my phone up with Bigfoot names, and gifts or whatnot about birthday. So I've got my Bigfoot shirt on now. All right. That is, since we're talking about moving back to Florida.
He's riding an alligator.
He's riding an alligator and holding a Glock. So where?
Live action.
There we go. Woo-hoo.
I was looking for a Bigfoot birthday meme for you, but I couldn't find one. You got a dancing cake from me.
Yeah. But it was funny, but that we're taking back the swamp. Okay. And you know what? When we were down there this last week, it was funny. Okay. Because I love it up here. Everything's still snow. It's supposed to snow Friday. We've had over 20 something inches, and probably much like Donna and some of the other people, it hasn't dropped below freezing in a week to 2 weeks. So it's all still here. Okay. It's even on the roof still and everything else. And I worry about that with everybody's house, and it turned into ice, and you know how all that gets or whatnot. But Gillian said it's 30. I don't know where she wishes she was at. But it's 20 here right now. So, and tomorrow we got a heat wave, 31. Woohoo!
Well,
but I did start to miss Florida when we were down there, and I felt like a shithead because once we realized that we weren't going to be able to make it right back and the storm was coming, I called my a friend of mine that does handiwork and things like that. And if you're listening, bro, thank you very much. I owe you big time. And he came in and got the house all set for winter, turned the heat on in the basement where the furnace is, blah, 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 blah. But he's like, is it raining there? And I sent him this picture of me on the intercoastal waterway in shorts with a sailboat going by. So, I was like, sometimes it does not suck to be, the rep. It does not suck.
61 here right now with a low of 38, but it's been cold, like cold here. Like 26, 30 here in Central Florida.
Yeah, Donna's saying 19 degrees in Pennsylvania.
I don't miss that, Donna. I do not at all.
Yeah.
I spent 5 years in the Poconos during some formative years, and I don't miss the cold at all.
Yeah, exactly. And again, the cold. Now this has got that. I don't care what anybody says. Screw it. It's cold. Okay. You pick a little bit of wind up. Now you've got to bundle up just to go out and take your trash out. Usually,
right.
If it's down in the 20s or something, I would run out and run back, that type of thing, in and out. Was actually wearing shorts, but no, it's dropping. Like, what was it? It was saying coming up. So Donna, you be ready. It's going to be the same way for you. Sunday. Here we go. Starting Saturday, 24 is the high, -1 is the low, and then it's going to be Sunday, 13 is the high.
No,
and the negatives are going to be, and snow. So
it looks like we're warming up over the next 10 days, but we're still at like 50, 45. You can keep all that. I've been freezing, you know me.
Yeah.
Absolutely freezing. I have the heat on. I have my electric robe blanket thing plugged in. Like
Yeah, you are not a cool weather girl. You're just not,
I used to be fine, but after, all these years down here, like almost 30 years down
you're
here,
acclimated. Yeah.
I can't do the cold anymore. I don't know what I'm But like I said, I grew up in New York and Pennsylvania. We used to go skiing, and I don't know. The cold didn't used to bother me.
We were driving somewhere the other day, and this kid was out, and he could only have been 10 years old. And Dad's got him out there shoveling the driveway by himself. Dad's nowhere to be seen. Mom's nowhere to be seen. And this poor 10-year-old kid. So I was thinking about putting flyers out in New Hampshire. Please do not have your children out here shoveling snow, because they will grow up hating this shit, move to Florida, and then they're going to drive the way you taught them to drive. It just...
Whose job do you think that was to shovel the driveway and the walkways and all that shit? It
look
was
at
such
where
a
you
job
live.
that we would go around with our snow shovels and get paid. People would pay us to shovel their walks and stuff. We knock on the door, shovel your walk for $5 or whatever. Yeah, but
if a kid wanted to do mine for $5, have at it, bro. Because the guy that comes and does my snow plow, we got a big driveway. You saw the driveway. Who snow plows the front? That's like $90 a pop. So
I don't know what kids would get to shovel the walkway these days, but
I don't either. And I don't see anybody doing it. Nobody's coming up and asked, to do it. But my point was, all these people up here teach your kids how to drive. Then the kids move down there, and everybody thinks it's Florida that's bad drivers. No.
It's all y'all who that and I'm sorry, but the people who are coming from other countries driving.
Oh yeah.
When I lived in Kissimmee, do you know how many people I would come like face to face with because they were driving on the wrong side of the road because they were from England or whatnot? You turn the corner and there'd be somebody there, and it'd be like, dude, no, come on.
Is that what made you get spiritual?
Jesus. Right?
Somebody's keeping me safe.
But it was bad. Like when we lived in Kissimmee, of course, because Disney's right there, and there's all the hotels, and I was like right off 192. You know what I mean? So it was like that whole. So we constantly had those people. I don't know if you got that over by you because of the beach very much. But
oh my God, yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah.
All the snowbirds and everything else, and oh yeah. Oh, holy crap. I hated it.
Well, yeah, you got the snowbirds. We got the tourists mostly.
Yeah.
We didn't get the snowbirds.
Yeah. So, and up here during the summer, we get what they call mass holes. And that's what everybody calls them, mass holes.
Because they're
all
mass
the people
Absolutely.
from Massachusetts coming up here.
Sorry, guys, if you're from Massachusetts, but
yeah.
The term
Don't
was
take it personal. Just telling you what I've learned, and you know what? On the road, I can see the logic in their theory.
On the road, have you like walked through like Boston or anything, and
yeah,
turned to have a conversation with somebody?
Yep. So, what did you do for your birthday, Miss Cynthia? We had plans, but then the one restaurant I wanted to go, we were going to a casino and it had a theme restaurant in it. So Gillian could give 3 craps about the casino. That would be me. But we were going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone because they had this great themed restaurant in it. She likes, I like. So we were going to do that. And then I was going to spend about an hour or so shooting craps. All right. That was closed. So on a Tuesday, it doesn't open on Monday or Tuesday. So it's the rest of the week. So we shifted the whole plans. We got in the car around 4:30, which you got to understand, Brigitte can tell you and whatnot over here in New Hampshire. I don't know where it's at for you, Donna. That's when we take our sundown drives. Okay. So we drove the backwoods enjoying the snow and, listening to, over the river and through the woods, to Grandma's house we go. It was a beautiful little ride. And we went into Kittery. I love Kittery, the old part of Kittery. That's the old downtown by the naval shipyard and things like that. Went into our favorite little pub there, had dinner. Okay. And then we came home, but we did not come home because by then it was dark. We took the highway. back to stay off those dark ass back roads.
Cloud.
Yeah.
It's not icy.
Yeah, no.
On the side.
So that's what we did. That's pretty much it. Now next year, 65, I'm going to be doing something big. We might be on an island. We might be somewhere else, and hopefully we'll do an online celebration together or whatever. I need to look up and see what day that is and just start planning it. But it's 65. So that's going to be my big one. Donna, didn't you say you were turning 65? Is anybody out there doing anything big for their 65? We even talked about Europe, okay? Nice. Doing something, special for 65. And one of the things I would like to do is head back to Key West, too. You know me, I love Key West. So.
Yeah. I don't know, though. I don't know. I think we're a little old to be hanging with the Key West crew these days.
No. I go down there. All I want to do is get my, what's that drink I drink when I'm down there? The Bahama Mamas or the Hurricane, I think it's a Hurricane.
What's the one that tastes like bubble gum?
Oh, no, I can't do bubble gum.
You know which one I'm talking about? It's pink. Gillian.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. Gillian, what was the name of that drink? Remember, I've been writing a song about it for 15 years, okay? Because every time we went somewhere, I was staying pretty tipsy. I wasn't drunk, but I was staying pretty tipsy. And she kept saying, hold on to the railing. Hold on to the railing. So I have this song in my head. Hold on to the railing. Rum runners got you swaying.
Rum runner.
Been all day out in the Florida sun. See, I've got it well on the way. I just never finish it,
Maybe that's what it was. The frozen rum runners. They taste like bubble gum. They taste like bubblicious bubble gum.
Does it taste like that to you?
Yeah,
I like them. I don't like them frozen. I like them liquid because I drink them too fast. I wind up with a brain freeze.
It's pink, right? Aren't rum runners pink?
Yeah, on the pinkish side. Yeah.
I don't know.
I love Bahamians. Is that the Bahama Mama? Is that what we're looking at? Yep. Land run runner. They are like candy, dangerous.
Yes. Okay. That's what I'm thinking of. They're like
especially for me, man, because the nose. I got to keep my barometer. My thermostat. Constantly checking the nose. Because I don't want to get sick. Oh, I can't stand getting sick.
Oh yeah, I feel that. I've done that too many times.
Now, you asked me a question today that we said we were laughing at, okay? And this is where, again, tonight, we didn't mean to mislead anybody with the who knows what we're going to talk about, but we were in a state today of being tired, everything else or whatnot. We're good. We feel good or whatnot. But we were just like, I have no idea what we're going to talk about. I have no idea what we're going to talk about. So we're like, we're going to have the show. We didn't have one last week or I wasn't able to be here with y'all. And, then we kept. So it's just like, use your divination to find out what's going on. So, but you asked me an interesting question today. Remember what that was about what we eat?
Oh yeah, I said, what would you do if we crossed? We always talk about, Rob and I always kid about crossing timelines and shit. And I said, what happens, if you cross into a timeline, and it's such a major like crossover, and it's in an era where like there's only broccoli to eat, or Rob has very specific food like idiosyncrasies. So there are specific foods that Rob just cannot do.
No.
And
spinach is the worst.
Today was eating a hot dog without a hot dog. No, making a sandwich on a hot dog bun because there was no bread. And then I said, what are you going to do if you get into some we graduate into some dystopian universe and you have to eat broccoli? Like, that's the only thing there for you to eat is broccoli. I said, are you going to start killing people and eating people or what? So what do you think?
And here's what I think. here's honestly what I think. If that was it, there's no other thing on the planet, which led me into the next part. Okay. I would have to be alone because I would either start eating broccoli once I got, at first, I'm going to be super thin, great way to have a diet, or whatnot. But then once it started getting to the point where I thought I was going to starve, then I would eat broccoli and maybe have gotten to the point where I liked it or whatnot. But if there are other people on the planet, that may open up cannibalism for me. And I might be the idiot out there in the roadway going, save the broccoli. Eat an idiot.
That's Jeffrey Dahmer. You have people in your fridge.
Yeah. No. Broccoli.
See, now,
but you're the same way with liver, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't know. I might, if I have to eat liver, I might starve. I seriously, I might starve. I'm definitely not eating people for several reasons. Now, I say that, but I have never been in a situation where eating people was even a remote possibility.
Right.
But I'm not, there's so many reasons why I'm not eating people. First of all, the things people put into their body is incredible when it comes to drugs or medicine or whatever. Like, your body is just a cesspool of toxic waste. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, you have no idea what people do. You don't know. You don't know what they've been doing. You don't know where they've been. You don't know nothing. And I don't care how good you clean a person. I don't want to risk eating, your syphilis or your herpes or your gonorrhea or whatever it is you got in your body. I'm not doing that.
Well, you wouldn't eat a human being medium rare, okay? So you're going to heat it up to kill any germ or whatnot.
I disagree. We've got viruses that survive a nuclear holocaust. No, I disagree.
Yeah, and Donna, no, there's no cheese sauce. There's nothing that we're allowed to have to hide the taste of broccoli. It's just pure broccoli. You can boil it or eat it raw. That's it. Cynthia says y'all are weird.
Yeah, well, that's
good. Now, here was the interesting comment from the peanut gallery on that when Brigitte said, how could you enjoy eating another human being ever? And from the back, the angelic voice of my wife, the one that everybody
not my husband
is not twisted, okay, said, depends on who you're eating.
It depends on how mad. What did you say? Depends on how much you dislike the person you're eating or something to that effect.
I was like, okay. And that's when, if you put that to it and you pick up their thumb, okay, off the Barbie, okay, and you're like, yeah. Oh, no, better yet, their middle finger. Remember when you gave me this?
I can't even joke about, like, I'm gagging. Like, I got that reflex happening in the back of my throat here where I'm like, the thought
right.
Actually.
And Cynthia, to your point, yeah, if you're starving and that's all you got, all those people, the soccer players that were up in the Andes Mountains,
dude,
that's how they survived. You don't think you could have done it, huh?
Logically, I can wrap my head around it. But sitting here right now, talking to you, no, it's not an option. It's just not an option. Now, I don't know what's going to happen if I'm ever in a situation where that is the option, right?
Right.
I just don't know. I don't know. So even if I did eat it, I don't know that I could keep it down.
Right.
Even if I did try to save my own life, I don't know that I wouldn't just puke it back. Because I want to throw up just thinking about it. I want to throw up dinner right now just thinking about it. It's disgusting. I can't even. And on top of it, and you know how my brain works.
Yeah.
Where you been, what you doing, what the hell have you put inside your body, where, Mm-mm. No.
Yeah. Do you wash your feet?
Do
You know?
you wash your feet? Do you wash your nuts? Do you wash your... You know what I mean? Like, what do you got going on?
Oh, yes, folks. This is a true conversation Bridget and I would have.
I can't even, like, I'm so disgusted just thinking about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's one of those things. So you better hope you're spiritually connected and somebody's bringing you some food.
Well, you better hope you're not stuck on some desert island with Rob.
I wouldn't kill you, not unless well, that was the other part. If it was your pet, if the only thing you had left to eat was your pet,
no way.
My
pet would eat before I ate. My dogs would eat before I fed myself.
But if you're dead, the dog's going to die anyways.
The dog will eat me.
Okay. All right. I'll give you that
for
one.
A while before he dies, but whatever.
Okay. All right. So we know in this conversation, Brigitte was not Filipino. Taking the pet dog.
Not in this life, not in a past life. It's not happening. No.
So, all right. I know we veered way off course there, but I was still laughing about that one today. I'm like, okay.
He says, let's talk about chocolate.
Yeah,
all right.
Okay.
If you were stuck on a desert island and you had a thing of Hershey's chocolate syrup and your good friend, would you dip them in the chocolate syrup and eat them?
There you go. Now you're getting your protein and you're masking it. So,
There's no way. There's absolutely no way.
I don't know what I'm talking about nuts. So chocolate covered nuts,
It's a new kind of tea bag.
Don't play with your food.
I just cannot even. It's
oh my God. Oh.
Cynthia wants to know how the hell we got here. Yeah, we're unhinged.
Yeah, we are.
You
this
really
is
think
after a long day,
grounded, normal kind of people? Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe next week we should talk about divination and make up for this week. And because Cynthia said it'd still be an interesting topic or whatnot, when she texted me and everything.
Right.
And but because would be something I would be interested in, is like when you're divining smoke. She mentioned something about divining smoke. I know about scrying bowls, things like that. You and Bruce bought me this beautiful crystal ball, and I was and I have it stored in the closet in certain places. I don't like get to it. I have things covering it or whatnot, because when I started reading the book on it, it almost became like, again, too many rules. And I think I need to bring that back out, dust it off, do some blessings over it, and then start with it, because I could see where that would go,
I think, and this is what I hate about, I mean, I know that you need the guidance. People need the guidance and they need the books, but these, all the rules, these rules, right? Why do you need rules to look into a crystal ball and see images? Like what? Like I don't understand the logic behind that. Why do you have to impose rules on that? It is what it is, right?
Right.
And I guess people worry about, maybe you drawing out bad spirits or something, but you know how I feel about that.
Yeah. But again, even if you think about it, and we go back beyond Christianity, back even beyond paganism or whatnot, okay? When somebody had the first idea that there was something bigger than themselves, or the cosmic, the mother, the universe, things like that, they didn't have a rule book, So when we start seeing rules, that's the first sign that man has stepped in, okay? And we're conforming to somebody's school of thought rather than doing this from our heart. Does that make sense, or did I just get preachy?
No, I understand what you're saying, and that's my gripe about,
Right.
I understand that people need guidance. I do, and they need sort of a plan to follow.
Right.
But or just to get them started or whatever. But to have a book that says, well, you can't use this tool unless on a divination tool, because I understand if you have a hacksaw or something, there's strict rules you have to abide by.
Right.
But you can't use this divination tool unless you do these things.
Right.
And it would piss me off. Like with tarot, I used to get so mad. And so for the longest time, I had the worst time reading tarot cards because I felt like I had to know what every single card meant all the time. Like I had to know, and I had to be able to recite, this, and this. And I could not just get them all committed into my memory. So for years I put it down thinking, this just isn't it. This isn't the thing for me. This isn't the one for me.
Right.
And then I finally picked it back up many, many years ago. And I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm just going to do this. And I'm just going to keep at it and keep working at it. And
yep,
this is how I feel, because a lot of times, especially when people are asking you something and you have to sort of build a story for them in a reading, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times a card means something that has a specific meaning, but in the context of the story, it means something totally different. And that's where people get hung up, because they're looking at this. I'm trying to think of just some weird, obscure one that is like, okay, so they're looking at like this 4 coins.
Okay.
And they're saying, and they're looking at it and they're going, why are they telling you not to be miserly? Right? Because this is what you think 4 coins, right? You're a miser, you're withholding, you're doing all this stuff. When really it's what it's saying, in the context of whatever is not don't be miserly, but be more open or share more of yourself, or be wary of whatever the situation is in the context of the cards. Or it could say so many different things. And so books kind of rules like that, those stringent rules, really irritate me.
Yeah, the 4 coins is a hard one, and a lot of times when it comes up, because if you go, depending on which book you look at, it will talk about, self-protect, keep everything gathered close. Even one of the decks I use, she has her on the outskirts of the city, where she's actually left the city and huddling her stuff in. But then if you pick up another book, it is a caution about it. Whoever wrote that book, in their mind, it's don't be miserly, don't be stingy, don't be greedy. And sometimes, and this is what I preach about, like what you're saying, it's got to be what comes to you in your intuition. Where does it fit in the story? What is the portrait telling you? And
Right.
Sometimes in that story, the same card could have 2 or 3 different meanings depending on the story or the question that you've asked it.
You're using more than one deck, because you know me, especially anybody who's gotten a reading from me knows, like sat down 30 minutes, an hour, whatever, knows that I will use a couple of different decks, and repeat cards happen in those decks.
Oh, yeah.
When you're doing that. So, it's, to me, rule books piss me off. I've got a lot of sort of spell books and stuff up here that I use as a reference. And oftentimes I'll look at them and I will then craft my own thing.
Right. And I think that's a good point you just made. Reference. They're there to be a reference to somebody else's thought, a way to look at it, but it doesn't have to be a rule that
Right.
you have to follow.
Well, often I'm not sure what the optimal herbs should be, or what is it best to do this by fire, or make a jar, or do something different. I tend to do a lot of candle stuff because it's quick and it's easy, and it's often you have all that stuff in your house, right?
Yeah.
So that's but there are times where I have gone and done other different kinds of things, right? That don't involve that, or maybe are a little more in depth. But I think sometimes, and a lot of times I think people think, well, I can't do this thing because I don't have these herbs, or this tree branch, or this bird feather, or this, or this, or this. And I think that look, they didn't have juniper berries in Africa.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
So there are different things that you can do, that you can use, that sort of stand for that same thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think. And so I think you just got to kind of, there have been so many times where I've just taken, like, I have the jars of crystals or whatever, and
Right.
I'll just dump one out and start touching them, and this one feels good, this one feels good, this one feels good, regardless of what the book says the intention for this story.
Right. And again, got to remember, on almost anything spiritual, okay, I don't care whether it's Christian, Muslim, Judaism, Confucianism, any of it, the Tao Te Ching, it's all somebody telling you their opinion, okay, of what they believe they were given a message.
And absolutely.
That's where faith or belief comes in. If you want to believe that, that's fine. But there's so much with this that we need to understand, okay, that I think when we start seeing rules, okay, you've heard me tell people when they're reading tarot for the first couple times, what's the hardest thing? I even put it in the book. What's the hardest thing to do? Throw the book away.
Throw the book away. Yeah.
Put the book away and start listening. You've got a basic knowledge, okay? But if you can't hear or discern a message, that's half the battle. And that's where most people need to stop and learn before they go grab a tarot deck. They've got to learn, can you sit still and weed out your own thoughts and hear a message, okay? Right. Because, again, these are cards, they're cardboard, So if I lose a deck, I'll hate it. But if I really like that deck, I'll go buy the deck again, re-cleanse it, and do anything. And the cleansing has nothing to do with the fact, except I don't know how many people have had their hands on it, what energy they were having, or whatnot, and I don't want it into my reading or into my house. So,
I don't always cleanse a deck, though. A lot of times you've seen me come home, open a deck. We've been out shopping, open it up, and just start using it.
Yeah, we've done it at the restaurant table. Hey, let's look, we got all these cards.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I just think that you have to have a little faith in yourself. But hey, you want to see what I picked up?
Yeah.
Speaking of witchy stuff and fun stuff.
Okay.
Gillian's going to love these. Gillian, pay attention. So I have a bunch of herbs that are in bags in my in my little drawer, in my little witchy drawer over here.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out what can I put them in. And I didn't want to put them in like Tupperwares or anything. So check this out.
Right.
Look at these jars I found. Gillian, look at the jars I found.
Wow.
They're
That is cool. That is cool. Gillian would love that. I think she's stuck on the phone.
I know, but
That scares me that she's still on the phone. No, there she goes. Oh my God, love it. Okay. It is one of those things. So yeah, she would.
There's 3 of them and they're this big. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the herbs and put them in here. And then I have a label maker on the back.
Okay.
And I'm going to put like a clear label of what they are on the back so that when you see them, and they have this little stand, which is awesome. Right? I'm such a nerd. So this is the stand, right?
Oh wow, that's cool.
And they sit in the little stand like that.
There you go.
And there's 3 of them. So I bought two of these, and I have one with their witch hats. This top part is witch hats, not frogs. So
Right.
I'll use those.
And like Cynthia just said, Donna, oh my God, they're so cute. Cynthia, shut the fuck up. I love that. They're great for oils. Those would be great for anything, incense, powders, whatever. So, and I can see you with shelves and just racks of frog heads, with stuff in them. So,
So this is my greatest find ever. And the witch ones. The witch ones are on back order, but they'll come in. So guys, I shit you not, Temu. I got them on Temu. They were not at all expensive, like not even remotely. I think it was like $13 for this thing.
And I'm going to tell you something. I bought a lot of stuff off Temu, and I was always afraid. I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And then I tried it. Okay. And Gillian has bought stuff off Temu. And one of the things that have greatly admired about them, they acknowledge some of their stuff is just not worth the effort, Right. And she has said this was not right, this broke, or whatnot. And they're like, keep it, we'll send you a new one.
Right. Well, yeah.
They've never made her pack anything up and send it back to freaking China.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, right? So, some stuff is crap, is garbage.
Oh, yeah.
Some stuff like this is cute. Especially if I don't I plan on storing my herbs and stuff in them.
Yeah.
Or maybe I was thinking tea because I'm starting to get into tea like a lot. But
I could do that real easy.
Tea?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been really into tea a lot. I've been trying to get off caffeine. And I like the hot at night.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to do a lot of teas. I got Chris turned on to tea. He just got over having a cold, and I had this tea. It's called Plague Doctor.
Okay.
And it's got all these different herbs, like these different teas in it. And like eucalyptus, echinacea, some peppermint, all stuff that's supposed to help you when you're sick. And
Right.
he said that he really, especially his throat was sore, and he's like, I really enjoyed the teas, really helped me. Like he was taking it to work with him or whatever. He's like, it really made me feel a lot better. It made my throat feel a lot better.
Yeah, when I was going through all that coughing, when everything got messed up on me really bad and whatnot, Cynthia, Deborah, Donna, all were like making sure I had the certain type of tea.
It was the Mullen, right? Mullen?
Yes, I believe so. Yes. And I loved it, and it really helped. It really, really helped. And, so that there are different things. I need to get off the caffeine so much because I'm just caffeine all day long. But it is one of those things where it's more soothing in the evening, like a good lemon tea. Like I know the cheap mix is like lemon zinger, you know?
Yeah, but these have caffeine in them. So
Yeah.
you've got to make sure that the teas you're getting are caffeine free.
Right. So that was one of those things where, yeah, and Donna said, yes, Mullen. It was, I like that soothingness of it, you know? And there are plenty that I've got non-caffeinated teas in there. But some of them are like black teas, and I have a black currant, you know, and I like to mix it with the hibiscus,
Right.
you know, natural hibiscus teas and whatnot. Yeah, no, I can get into that really, really easy, you know.
I love Earl Grey is like my favorite, but it's got caffeine in it, so I have to be careful when I drink it. But I found a tea called Lady Grey, and it's the Earl Grey with lavender.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, look for Lady Grey. But again, it's caffeinated, right? You can get. I looked online. I can get decaf Earl Grey, but I don't know that I want to.
Yeah, to me, it's kind of like tampering with it. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but we've got this neat down in Portsmouth. There's this fantastic tea shop. You know that's what they specialize in, and it's just it's really cool.
Yeah, I have one in Winter Garden, which is probably the same.
Yeah, could be. You know, Cynthia's like, don't get me started on herbs. I just threw 60 jars of old herbs away. I cleaned up. Yeah, and now that's a good question. You know, do things that you use, like when you do your spells, Brigitte, or whatnot, or whatever your spells, your herbs, your however you want to call it, your magic, okay? As towards that, do they lose their potency? I don't think so. Still, I've always preached intention setting.
I just went through a couple of draws in here because I had so much stuff. I filled like a whole Publix bag of stuff and threw it away. Old incenses, just stuff that I knew I was never going to use, scents that I didn't like, or just brands that didn't work out for me. But I think as far as the herbs go, you're not cooking with them. You're not eating them. So the potency probably isn't really that. I don't know. I don't know if the potency matters or not.
Okay.
You know, what's the difference between the herbs that are sitting in your drawer versus the container of rosemary that you got at Publix that's been sitting there for however long it's been.
Yeah, for 5 years, or the poultry seasoning that you use once every Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I used to love going through my grandmother's drawers and seeing the old antique McCormick spice cans. It's like, it's all still fine. You know?
Well, Bruce is asking if the old herbs can be repurposed. I don't know. I mean, they likely could. It might be good for somebody who, who doesn't have the money to buy the herbs, and like you're cleaning out your stash, and somebody who just financially can't support that. But you could just say, well, here, I'm getting rid of these because I haven't used them, or I don't use them, or whatever.
And I like what Cynthia says. You can tell from the smell. That would make sense to me, that if they no longer smell like the herb they're supposed to be, then that, then that would make sense. Donna's saying she loves, I'm going to screw this name up, Tulsi. Holy basil. Mm-hmm. It's great to replace your coffee, and they do have decaffeinated. Well, I need to find the caffeinated because I can't replace my coffee without my caffeine. But I would love to. Like Gillian was doing Rise for a while, the mushroom.
Right.
And I actually enjoyed it until I got down to the very bottom. And no matter how much it was, that powder was in there. And I am good to the last drop, that type of thing. And Then for an hour afterwards, I've got mushroom fragments
in the back of your throat.
Yeah. I'll be with you in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I just ate a finger.
I'm not going to replace my coffee. I mean, I definitely
Right.
have to have coffee in the morning, but I after so I cut myself off about lunchtime, and
Mhm.
after lunch, I really try not to drink coffee. So much to the point that I want decaf, so that if I felt like I really wanted a coffee, I would go brew the cup of decaf.
Well, and that's what I need to do. And we've got a whole box of the decaf pods sitting right next to the coffee pot from when my aunt was here.
Right.
Okay. And for the rest of you, that's aunt. Okay. I don't have a pet aunt. It's one of those things. We just don't, we're not in that habit. And so like here it is going on 9:30 and I just finished up myself. I've been pouring, Gillian sends me down with a freaking thermos,
Right.
and it's empty. But she will tell you there are nights I will go upstairs and within 10 minutes of sitting down, I'm still crashing.
Right.
But there are other nights it's like, okay, now I'm up. And a lot of it depends on whether I've been rejuvenated by the show, what we're doing, the readings, if I feel good about it, if things were really good, or if it was very draining to pull that night. But yeah, we really need to start loading me up. There's no reason to be drinking caffeinated. And then I'll go up, stop, and say, okay, I need something cold to drink. Give me my Diet Coke,
Diet Coke, which is laden with caffeine, right?
So yeah, my body's on a constant caffeine of, if I'm one of those that if by a certain time of day I have not had my caffeine, okay, I'm starting to feel it. I'm feeling it in my head. I'm feeling it, in different things,
I can appreciate that. I mean, yeah, I have to get
right.
going.
Cynthia, I've never done mushroom anything. Y'all know Hillis. He is very much into, maybe we ought to have him on one night and talk about microdosing with the, what's the word I'm looking for?
Plant medicine.
Yeah, plant medicine, cyclosobin, or whatnot. But no, the precursor to that was micro. He's gotten very good at, little pieces of this or that or the other and knowing the cutoffs. And I know this when I was doing studies, in my MSW program, when we were talking about mental health and treatments and things like that. One of the things that came up is that your mushroom, your psychedelics, a lot of times are a great help to mental health and mental illness and treating it. But America is so drug, no. Look how long it's taken us to get over marijuana, okay? That we freak out. But now Mexico, several countries are actually experimenting with it for psychoses, different things like that or whatnot. And so...
Well, Teenage Me had a lot of fun when, but I as an adult, I can't even imagine what I would do if I started tripping out. I can't even
I have tried it one time, and it was only like 2 or 3 years ago. Now, when I tried it, the clouds told me to sell my house. Okay. So, and now I'm in New Hampshire. All right. And literally, Gillian will tell you, I call her and I microdose to the point. I remember every minute of it. I was never sick. I was never weird.
Didn't go alone?
No, I was with April and Jay. Okay. We were sitting next to a pool. All right. And we turned on some, vibrational, like 432 megahertz music or one of those meditation channels or whatnot. And next thing I know, I'm sitting there and the clouds are forming. Okay. And they're making dragons. All right.
Yeah.
nice dragons. Okay. And they are, like if there was a song on, their mouths were going to the words of the song.
Singing the song.
Okay. And I'm like, that is just so cool,
I-
and I can remember it much. I wasn't like, we walked to dinner. We didn't get in a car, or anything else, but there was no headache. There was no anything else. And again, thank God for smarts and microdosing and somebody knowing what they were doing.
I did
And
not
yeah.
microdose at
Yeah.
15 years old. And I stood in the woods and talked to a tree and told everybody who would listen that it was Paul Bunyan. So
Yeah.
I also
That's it. I hear everybody going, oh, if you want to take a journey, microdose. So I'm like going, wait a minute. The clouds were little dragons, okay? And they were singing to me. I don't know. And then I woke up and called my wife and we sold the house. I don't know that I would trust this to be a spiritual journey or not. You know what I mean?
all depends
I
on
would have to
who's guiding
preset up
you.
to that or whatnot.
This is why they have like workshops, right? There are people there who help guide you through all that. But I can tell you that like I've done a couple of shamanic journeys that involved zero help, right?
Right.
Just me and my reptile brain. And they were pretty cool and very interesting. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know, like, like going in one of those teepees or whatever, those tents. And
Yeah.
it's hot in there, and
The
I don't
sweat
know.
lodge. Yeah.
I can't do that. I can't do that.
Yeah, I don't want to go in there and get high. I could do the sweat lodge, okay, but I would only do it too long before my claustrophobia would kick in. I'd be like, get the hell out of
did
town.
one in Mexico with a Mayan shaman. It was actually really cool. It was a great experience, but I had to sit by. There was a cloth cover, so it was a big stone built, like not big, maybe as big as this room,
Right.
stone thing, and there was probably 7 of us in it, and there was a big fire pit in the middle, and the shaman was there drumming and doing his thing, but there was like a cloth there, and I had to sit next to the door because if it got too hot,
Yeah.
I would feel like I was going to pass out, and I had to kind of stick my head out more and breathe. But it was cool. It was a cool experience.
Yeah. Well, and that I would tell anybody, if you're going to microdose, just because somebody says they're an expert doesn't mean there's an expert. Okay.
Oh, I didn't microdose. I was fully sober.
Yeah. But this is just my cautionary with
Right.
like warning, this is for entertainment purposes only. It's one of those things though, where I got to know the people that are guiding me, because again, I don't need an implanted idea. I want to let it free flow, if I'm going to do that or whatnot. Like the reason I tell you I love Becky so much with my trip
Yeah, because
backwards.
she's so like,
This is your
whatever
trip, bro.
happened-
You
Yeah.
you just tell me what's going on, and I'm going to keep you kind of within some boundaries, so I'm not over there licking the side of a castle or something like that. So that's one of those things.
But Becky's so cool because she's just on board for anything. Like nothing sways her. Like you can say the most outrageous stuff, and she's like, yeah, I'm right on. I'm on. Like she just flows right with it. It's
right.
And
if it's something really stupid, she'll be like, yeah, I'll watch. Yeah. She knows her boundaries, and I'll be glad to keep over you. Make sure you're safe while you're doing that. And what you're hearing is you're a dumbass. I'm not doing that shit from somebody who is just the most,
or just that's
one of
that's
the
really not
kindest
my
people
thing.
on the planet. Yeah.
That's not my thing. That's not what I
Yeah,
do.
but I'll be glad to help you. You know.
Yeah, she's so funny. But I've had a couple of experiences. I don't have any desire to microdose. I don't have any desire to no. I don't know that there's anybody that I know that I would allow myself to get that far out of control of my body. You know what I mean? I
And
mean,
that's what I'm saying. I don't want to get that trippy, you know?
there's like you and Bruce and Gil, but that's different. Like that's a different kind of thing. But like just any, I don't know, there is nobody that I know that I would trust my psyche to
Right.
outside of like core group. So
Right.
that's just me.
Gotcha.
My nose is running. I apologize for that.
That's all right. That's all right. So Mullen tea, you know, I can testify to that one firsthand. But
Mullen.
you know, so we're on an hour, and folks, y'all see here we go again. We have started, you know, we have gone from cannibalism to microdosing. So cannibalism, divination, microdosing, or whatnot. Let's do more about divination next time, because there are things I would like to know and get your opinion on, and maybe you can show me some different things. You know, pendulums. I got pendulums. You know, you and me both on the pendulums. Okay,
Right.
We'll be glad to show a few things.
A whole lot of divination. Like I don't do a whole lot of wax divination. I don't do a whole lot of smoke divination. That's kind of not my bag. But I don't know. Maybe somebody out there knows how to do it and they want to come on with us. We could talk about it. We could try it. You know, I don't know how it'll come over on the camera, but like I could put a bowl of sage and just let it look like a mother, and everybody can try and see what they see. But
we can do that. I know we've got divination rods upstairs, so I can use
where they do the you could do the yes no with those, so that's cool. Right? The crossing.
I need to get those down and bring them out here. They're solid copper. They're perfect for it. You know, so let's, if nothing else, let's use that as a target, and then we'll see if we wind up talking about, you know, Bigfoot. You know,
you can bring out your crystal ball and have your camera on it.
Yeah, I'll get the crystal ball. We'll set it right under my camera. You know, we'll do that.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not a big sort of scryer, diviner. I don't know. And you know me, I've dabbled in pretty much everything.
Yep.
I can have my headset in and have Gillian on the phone, and I can toss runes, and she can tell me what they mean. Gillian, you can tell me what the runes mean.
Yeah, Gillian, it's time for you to come on with us, and maybe we'll do a rune night one night. You know,
doesn't want to come on. She wants to sit on the headphone with me and tell me what the runes mean.
Oh, okay.
Everybody else what the runes mean.
Okay.
I got your back, girl. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Netflix has got all the James Bond movies on, so that'll be you. Bond. James Bond.
My ear pods.
Yeah. Don't touch your ear, Brigitte. Oh, okay. All right.
All righty. All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap this up.
Yeah. It was fun. It was fun. Actually needed this. You know, we just had fun, and that's what we need to do. So.
Yeah. So maybe next week we'll do some kind of figure something out for divination. Yep.
Absolutely. You know, and we appreciate all you guys too. Thank you very much, because we know this is not quite the norm, but I think that's what makes it so much fun. You know,
we're weird.
Yeah, exactly.
You only knew how weird we were.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Night.